about development. So let's get started, shall we? For me, I have a hand tank for developing, and I have a expired roll. I exposed this the first time I went to ever develop, and I messed up, and I got frustrated, and I turned the light on, and I said, F it, you know, and so we're gonna use it today to, you know, teach, because it's daytime, fake daytime. So first thing you're gonna want to do is set up everything beforehand, because it's very dark. First time I went to do this, I was standing. I recommend you sit down on the floor when you go to do this. I was standing, I dropped the film, I go to bend down to pick it up, and boom, slammed my head straight into the counter. I mean, it still got like an egg there still. It was gnarly. So, you know, you live and you learn. Now I sit down on the floor and I get everything prepared beforehand and I have no problem. So, you know, you live and you learn. So right here I have a spool. This is what you put your film on. Right now it's in 35 mil mode. Obviously, I have some 120 film, so gotta crank it. Now it feels like you're breaking it, but you know, you're not. Just gonna make sure I'm going the right way with it. There you go. Yeah, you go the right way with it. So you're going to twist it to the right until you hear give, and you're going to pull out. And then you're going to line up right at the edge. After there's 2 knots, you'll see like 2 notches. Then you line it up right there. Hold on. Yeah, right there. Line her up. There you go. That's locked in place, not going nowhere. There you go, 120 mode. You're gonna wanna take this is your stirring stick for later. You wanna take your pipette roller holder, right? It's gonna have a lip right here. You're gonna want that lip end to go at the end with the big hole. One hole is tiny, one hole is big. Put it in through the big hole, right? So when you're setting up, before you turn the lights off, you're gonna want these little wing clip bits to be facing you, and you want them to be lined up. See, they could be crooked or lined up. You want them to be lined up, facing you when you go to start this process. And you want everything, the light seal, the tank, everything to be right in arm's reach, right next to each other, so you don't, you know, you're not looking around in the dark like a crazy person. All right. So when you go and you're doing this, obviously there'll be paper on this, and you're gonna unfold the paper, right? Pull it down, pull it down, pull it down until you feel this edge here. So it'll be the paper on top and this edge right here. So you're gonna let the paper go, let it hit the floor, whatever. And you're gonna take this edge, right? And you're gonna take your spool here with the marks that you have lined up. And you're just gonna place it on top. Just gonna place it on like that, just like that. Dude, once you have it placed on, you're gonna grab it in the center here, right? You know, let me put this guy down for a second so you see it better. You grab it in the center there. Right there, right there. Pull that right on. Alright, once that's pulled on, you can let go of it. Let it roll down, whatever. Whatever it does, right? Now, when you go to do this, you want to be really deliberate and really smooth and slow. The slower and smoother you do this, the easier it'll go on, and you'll have no problems. You don't want to be getting flustered in the dark. That's how I hurt myself. That's how I've destroyed every bit of film and just said, you know, F it. You get flustered in the dark. You don't want to do that. And you just want to crank just your right hand. Just your right hand cranks. Your left hand stays still. If you're doing both hands, it's going to start knotting up and it's gonna start creasing, and maybe it's gonna flick off. It's gonna be a pain in the butt. So you just want to do this nice and slow, just the one hand motion, just like that. And it's like ratcheting it on. See, it's like whoop, pulls it, and then it comes off, comes back. Pull some more on, comes back. Pull some more on, comes back. You get the gist. Pulling on, coming back, pulling on, coming back. And now when you get to the end, you're gonna feel resistance, right? And taped right here, it's going to be taped to the paper, and it's going to be taped to this black plastic roll, and you're going to want to rip that tape off and rip the roll off and the paper off, and then continue the rest of the way. Once you're on all the way, you're going to take your tank that you have, should be right in front of you, and you're just going to plop it in flat side down, like the nipple side up. All right? Plop that in. You're going to take your light seal, and you're going to drop it in. Right? And you're going to twist it until you like feel it hit against the nub, and then push it one more click. It should click in there, and then, get that? It should be like giving resistance. It should be in place. If it's just spinning around, it's not sealed. You gotta click it until it is in place, all right? So once it's in place, usually I throw the lid back on top until like I'm ready to actually start developing. So let's get this out of here. Let me turn off all these lights, get a real roll in here, and then let me time lapse the development process for you now, and then we'll take a look at the dried product.
All right, so I'm gonna get this heating up to 102 degrees Fahrenheit and get a stopwatch going. Let them chems heat up and then soak this film for 1 minute. Now, the thing about Portrait 400 is it comes out green when you soak it. So I'm gonna put the developer in for 3.5 minutes. Every 30 seconds, I'm going to flip it upside down 4 times. And put it back, and then now we're doing the blix. 6.5 minutes this time. Again, every 30 seconds, you're going to flip that over. You're going to keep it submerged, because you want it to stay at the temperature of 102 degrees. So now you're going to wash it under that... under the faucet for 3 minutes. Wash it from like 95 degrees to 102 degrees. Then you can put in some stabilizer. For a minute, you can put that stabilizer in. And then you're done.
So here we are, post development. We have this nice, beautiful roll of film. I was a little worried too. Maybe, no, it looks pretty thick. I was a little worried that I didn't heat my developer long enough. Don't mind the wig. That I didn't heat the developer long enough. But see right there, it worked. So I guess as long as if you don't think it's right to temperature when you pour the liquid in, keep it in that bath. Keep it soaked and submerged, and you'll be just fine. I guess we shouldn't get down shots of me, right? All right. Let's scan these bad boys.